Good morning, Flosstube. Welcome or welcome back if you are a returning viewer. I am Sen, and this is my little place on the internet on YouTube for everything cross-stitch related. Maybe some other crafts here and there, who knows. But it is Monday again, which means it is time for my weekly recap with you. So, well, if you are interested in what I have to show every week, because I stitch quite a lot, do hit the little subscribe down below and give this video a like. And always feel free to chat with me down in the comments. I'm always happy to see what you have to say about my video, my progress, what you particularly liked. But yeah, without much waffling, the way I always do these, I go and film on my desk right in front of me so that it's easier to show off the projects and where they are, and for me to, how do I put this? The camera quality is better because I'm filming on my phone. This is the front view and the back view is obviously the better camera, so that's better quality. The lighting is better on my desk and all of those shenanigans. So waffling at the end of the video, usually I try to not to waffle too much before showing what I did, and I did quite a bit in the past week. I didn't expect to, because there was some new things that I kind of fell into that I will briefly mention at the end of the video. And yeah, I still got quite a bit done in regards of cross stitch. I have a finish. If you know, you know. You're probably expecting what it's gonna be, but you will see in a moment. And I have made some changes of plans in game stitching that you will also hear about during my whips. So that's enough waffling to begin with. Let's move around to my desk and look at what I worked on, shall we? All right, why shouldn't we begin with the star of the show, which is my finish for this week. And some of you might have expected what it would be. It is, of course, the little mermaid, which will be May's Patreon pattern. And since May is coming up very soon, might even be this week already. Let me check the calendar. Today's the 27th of April. Yes, 1st of May will be on Friday. So for all of you that want to stitch these, you can get ready for the weekend, because Friday this one will come to my Patreon. You can sign up for free and wait for the release. You will get an email when it is time for it to be out, and then you can pledge whenever you want to get the monthly patterns that you like. So, but sign up in itself is free. Just if you want to get the patterns, you obviously need to choose a pledge. But yeah, this is the mermaid. I'm very happy with how she turned out. There will eventually very likely be a companion piece, because I made this from one of my artworks, and there is a second one to this one that I'm thinking about turning into a pattern as well. So that might happen sooner or later. But for now, she is all done, and I have already gotten a frame for her. I just haven't gotten around to framing her, so I will probably be able to show you the FFO in all its glory next week. She also still needs to be ironed. But yeah, that is the mermaid on this beautiful opalescent printed Ada. So I'm obviously not gonna wash it, just gonna iron it and hope I get the hoop marks out. She doesn't have too many colors, just with the blends. Like there are no blended colors, but they're like the colors that I did choose. Well, there's one in the green. There's one blend, and one blend in the green and one blend in the skin color, I believe. But I finished the tail, but it's not overly complicated, in case someone might be worried about that. No backstitching. Not this time. But yeah, she's also not very large. As you can see, this is stitched on an 18 count. So there she is in all her glory. And moving on with model stitching, another one I have worked on that I think you've seen before on my Flosstube. I think I showed it before, including cat hair, is the Zesty Mandala. It's a new mandala design with a citrusy pattern, as you can see here in this one. This will be a full citrus slice, and then this will be the motif that will be repeated over here and then below. And this one comes in 2 versions once it's finished. Like, it's not, I haven't released it yet because I want to stitch a little bit more on it first. Maybe I will release it before I finish the model. I haven't decided yet. If I do, then it will be next month, because I did release a new pattern today, which I will show you in at the end of the whip section. But yeah, tangent. So there is a round version, or like a more round version, which is this one, that will fit in a round hoop to finish, for example. And there will also be a version that is square, that has another design up here to make it look more fitting for a square frame. So that is this one. Let's see, because I didn't tell you any numbers, did I? The mermaid got finished with another let's see, around 400. I need to do math. 4, 5, 6, 7, another around 800 stitches last week, and this one got 405, so not too bad, not too many either. Then I also worked a little bit on the new model for bloodlines. This is where this one's at. Moving further in the filling here and down. And next will be like a little bit more here, and then we will get into the dragons. So for this one, yeah, we'll probably show put pictures somewhere around here what they will look like finished, because I haven't printed any out. This one didn't get too many stitches this week. About a little over 300, or a little under 300, around 300. Sorry for shaking I need to get it back into this massive project bag. I think this is the only project bag, or one of the only project bags that I have that can fit this frame, or a frame in general, because most of them can't. But that is all of my model stitching. Now we will get into game stitching. Let me get a sip of coffee real quick. So, game stitching. If you've been following me, you know I am fairly obsessed with Jessie Marie's Milestone Manor. So, I have done a lot of Milestone Manor, and I have started more than one game round for it. So, for my first one, I have finished, so let me get the game card out. I was here in this new room that I opened the last time I showed it to you, and I finished the stitches that I still had to do on this one. Let me find how many those were. Yeah, 220 stitches. I finished them on Monday. Let me show you the project again. And I think I briefly talked about this last week, because I did change it from full cross to 10 stitch. So let's get a quick look at what it looks now that I have finished all the stitches rolled on it. This is where it is at now, and you will see in the before and after how far I got on it. And let me see if I got a milestone from this one. I believe I did. What did I finish on this? I think it was a row finish one. It was. Like, I did finish the top 10 by 10 row, which is easy enough, because it's obviously, since it's a round pattern, like the top row is minimal, but it is what it is, and it is still a milestone finish. so I will count it as such. So we're done with this room for now. Let me pack this back up, which means I have to get back into the hallway, like into the, not the hallway, like into the entrance room, like the tab room, because this is an inn, like a tavern map. So I'm back in the tab room. So next time I will be working on Coffee Dragon again. And I believe I rolled some, not many stitches on this. So let me check. I do have all of my game. Look how prepared I am. I'm not prepared at all, as usual. It's always a little bit chaotic with me, isn't it? So I rolled 900 stitches on Coffee Dragon, right? It was the other one that I didn't roll much on. So Coffee Dragon will come out again. You will see that next time. I don't know if I'll already get to it this week or not. Or if it takes me too long to finish the other game's current project. That is something we will see soon enough. That was my main game, where I'm already level 2. So that shall continue. Then I started, if you remember, a second game round where I put in all of my non-full coverages, but that didn't go too well, because then I rolled like over almost 3,000 stitches on a small like full cross pattern that would have taken me weeks or even multiple months just to finish that round, because I couldn't do like more than around 200 stitches every day, because it was, while I like stitching on it, it's slow going, like the autumn window, if you remember. So I cut that and I put that game round to the side and was like, this particular game is probably just for full coverage. So we will get back to that though. But for now, I wanted to play more. Like, I didn't want to bring out the same 2 to 3 projects every week, or stitch on the same thing all the time. So I was like, I have a lot of full coverages, and not all of them are in this first game. As you can see, this has 17 rooms, and I think I have 20 full coverages. I don't know. I don't even know. So I started a second game round, obviously, again. So technically that would be the third, but I'm calling it game 2. So, and I put all of my full coverages on a wheel, and I will spin them every time I open a new room. So this one I started last week, and the project that came up for the entrance hall here, this is like a guild hall, I believe, type of situation. And again, I'm using Dungeons and Dragons maps for this game, because if I would use my 3-room flat, then yeah, we wouldn't get very far, would we? So the first one that came up was Enchanted Forest Baby Dragon, and I did roll 840 stitches on it, which I all did over the course of the week. So let me show you where that one ended up. And this was also a project that I did a lot of back and forth with over the time, because I did start it 1/1 full cross, and I did enjoy stitching it, because 1/1 full cross is nice. But the problem with it was that I was not happy with the coverage. Is the light a bit dark, or does it just look like it? Because I don't know if you can see it, but the black here is very see-through. There's a lot of white, and I was debating, is it really that bad? Do I like it? Can I deal with it? And then I eventually was like, no, I cannot. So I changed the entire thing. I was originally thinking of just stitching over the black, but then I was just like, no, I'm just gonna do 2/1 full cross period. I was originally worried that it would be too bulky, because I've had issues with that before, but using a hoop works perfectly fine on this count. And I don't even know exactly what count it is, maybe 25 or 22. But as you can see, the black on top here is a lot better. Like the coverage is a lot denser. So this is where this one's currently at, and I do believe that I also got the counted the row finish. Yes, I did, because again, same as with the other one, so mostly a round pattern. The top 10 by 10 row is, it goes to here, so as you can see here, and that was quick and easy, so I counted that as my milestone, my first milestone for this. And yeah, this is where Baby Dragon is at. This one comes up a lot. It was in the other one as well, in the first room, like in the non-full coverage. And let me show you what this will look like finished. This will be it. And I'm still all the way up in the top here. Well, then this Baby Dragon. Let me pack it up and put it away. And then I did move to the next room. And the did the wheel spin for the project that would be in the next room. And that is Gravity. Gravity is my largest full coverage. So it's good that it gets some love. Which is actually funny because it was also in one of the 2 rooms that I recently opened in my first game. So apparently I am meant to work on this one and give it some love. But for this one, I only rolled 280 stitches, which I will very likely do this week, because that's not much on a full coverage that size that is done in 10 stitch. But that's my game too. And because I am crazy when I really like something, and I'm obsessed with this game, if you haven't noticed, I started a 3rd one. And if you think by now, girl, you're crazy, then you're probably right. So, my 3rd game, I took this dungeon map. And why am I using multiple? Like I said, I want to get more of my, I want to get more of my different projects out. And I'm also not planning on restocking projects. Like once I defeat one, the room will stay empty. And I want to see which one of these 3 maps I will clear first. Probably the tavern one, because it has the least rooms, but you never know, right? Like the tavern has 17 rooms, the guild hall has 18, I believe. This one has 25. So, but you don't know. It all depends on the rolls, right? So this one and this one will take a while. Because this one the wheel chose Round Dragon for like this entire entrance area here. And I rolled really high on it. I did roll a total of 2,400 stitches, of which I so far have done, let me see, a measly 500. Because this, while a smaller full coverage, and this will be a huge amount of stitching for this one once I'm done with it. It is, as you will see in a moment, it's full cross. This is the entire size of it. So it's not fast progress on this one. So I have to do another 900, I believe. No, 1,900 to get this one done and move on to the next room. So this will be my focus for this week, to see if I can get it done before I get back to game number 1 and then game number 2. So maybe I will not work on Gravity this week, unless I get 1,900 stitches in this, along with my model stitches. We will see. You will see. You can make bets down in the comments. Do you think I will manage? I think it's the same situation as it was with the autumn window, just not as, I mean, yeah, probably the exact same, but this is very enjoyable to stitch on as well. I already knocked out one color, like this hot pink here. I stitched in all of the color, like that's why I drew a grid on it, so I just could go all the way and stitch all of this hot pink in. Let me show you what this one will look like finished. This is what it will look like, and it's really pretty. I really like it. I have 2 more of these. And this was like some sort of a set that I bought. So another 1,900 stitches. I better get cracking so I can get this done. And then I have 1 more, and then we will be done. Like 1 more game, couple more projects, I should say. So that being said, like I said, the other one, like my original second game, where I if you've been around, you might remember, like this massive map where I put that had 3 like the ground floor, the first floor, and the basement, with a total of 43 rooms. And I picked it back up after thinking, okay, what can I do with it? Because I really wanted to, like, I really want to give my non-full coverages some love. And then I was like, I love the game, but rolling high numbers on projects like that are slow progress work, and that I cannot sit and do multiple, like, hundreds or thousands of stitches in one setting, because I will get bored of it. So how can I change it up instead of just moving back to a Tiny Decisions wheel app? And then I was like, how much do I usually stitch per day on a project like this? Somewhere between 150 and 300-400-ish stitches, depending on my mood and the project and how fast it goes. So I went like, let's get this map back out and print it properly, like print every floor on its own page, which I did. Like, we have the ground floor, we have the first floor, and we have the basement. And then spin the wheel to see which projects go where as I go through the building. Keep all of the rules, like as long as I'm level 1, I can only open 6 rooms, and then I need to get the same type of milestones and level up and before I can open more rooms. But I will not roll on the number of stitches. I will stick to 200 stitches per, and like every time I enter a room, I will stitch 200 stitches on that project, and then I will move on. If I get a milestone, I get a milestone. If I don't, I will take damage, and eventually I will have to move back to the start. I kept the projects that I already rolled on before. So entrance hall is still the first baby dragon. The second hallway that leads upstairs is still the autumn window. And I marked autumn window as finished from where I stopped working on it, where I was like, I'm not doing the entirety of the 2,800 stitches. So I moved up and I rolled for the upper floor hallway. Here, this massive part here, the area on the stairs. So this is the entirety of the hallway. And the project that I put on it, that came up on it, I worked on. I gave it 200 stitches. Oh, the zipper is so closed. I hope you don't hear too much of it. Which is this one that I changed up a little bit for me, as in I'm not stitching any of the background because I'm stitching it on a colored fabric. And I changed, like I did with the other D&D projects, I changed the class name for the name of my character. And let me show you where I am at with this one, because this one is almost finished. It's at over 90%, I believe. So a couple more rounds and it should, like 2 more goes and it should be done. This is where this one's at. Just needs a bit more green here in the flag. This leaf needs to be finished, and then there's some filling to do on the other side in the bow and in this flag, or whatever you would call it. But this is where this one is at now. And I will try my best to put like before and after pictures. That's always what takes the longest, to find like the before picture, either from my whip parade or when did I last work on it, which of my floss tubes did I show it in. And I've gone to try and taking a picture before I start working on the project, so I don't have to look for the before picture. I'm just taking a new one, but I still need to get used to it, so sometimes I forget and then I have to look for it. But yeah, this is where this one's at. It got 200 stitches. And then I moved on to the next room, which is this bedroom over here. And the project that came up on the wheel is Lucky Thirds, which is one of my models. So technically I wasn't done with model stitching, but I count this as game stitching because it came up in the game. This one also got 200 stitches. This is where it is at now. And as you can see, I finished like a little bit of this gold here, moved all the way across, redid this X here. Because if you've been around, maybe you remember that I noticed the last time I worked on this that I did the X wrong. It was too high. Not because I didn't like do it correctly. I mean, obviously it wasn't correct, but it was also wrong on the pattern itself, which I hadn't noticed. So the picture, the pattern, and the model stitch would have been wrong if I hadn't noticed. So I had to take, like, it was one stitch too high. It was too close to the gold here. So I had to take out, I frocked this entire X yesterday and restitched it. And then moved to the second here and ended a little bit on the gold. So now it's all correct and I can just continue working on it. But yeah, this also got 200 stitches. And then I moved on to the next room. And for now, this is very enjoyable to me. So let me show you what it will look like finished before I forget. This is what it will be looking like when it's done. So this way of doing it with my non-full coverages is very enjoyable to me because 200 is like a good number, and depending on what else I am doing in the evening, I can technically do more than one project in a day. So that maybe I will show you more projects in per week sometimes, and maybe not. But yeah, I managed to move on and I rolled for the next room, which is the adjacent bathroom that I could move into from this room here. That will also be adjacent to this room, so this one will be next. But this one has snake mushroom, which I will work on for the next round. And I forgot to put numbers on these two bathrooms, but they also have numbers. And this is number 16 and 15. You probably can't see it very well. So this will come up next. I didn't work on it yet, but it's there for me to move into if I want, or I could just move back into the hallway. But this is the next room I opened, which means I can technically open one more room before I level up. But yeah, this is how I will handle the Milestone Manor games that I'm playing. Let me get another sip of coffee. And that was all my stitching. So now I'm gonna show you one last thing, which is the new pattern that I teased at the beginning of the video, because I did create a new pattern. And for my patrons, this might seem, this might look similar because I took a lot of elements from I think it's the current one, the Frog Mandala, and made them into a sampler, which I did make freely available on my Etsy shop. It's in like freely purchasable, not free, obviously. And that is Spring at the Lily Pond, which is this cute little sampler here. And as you can see, you have like the similar frogs to the mandala. They are a little bit different. I gave them little leggies. There's the flowers that you have in the mandala and the lily pads with the blossoms that you have in the mandala. Everything else is different. Like I recharted the lotuses here because they obviously have a different, like they're not this way, they're just, you know, straight like this, not like this. So I had to rechart them. I don't know how else to explain it. And you have the new element of like this little tadpoles up here, the cutesy little ones. But yeah, this is available on my Etsy now. It obviously doesn't have a model stitch. I just finished it last night. Maybe I will stitch it myself. I am very tempted, but I haven't like done it yet. So this just has the mock-up. But the colors are the same that I used in the mandala and some of the colors from the spring sampler. So the colors are tested. But I just haven't stitched it yet, because if I stitch all of the patterns I create before I release them, I will never release anything, you know, with my like whip count and all that. But yeah, if you like this one, hop over to my Etsy. The link is down in the description and you can get this for yourself. So that is all the cross stitch for last week. So let's move back around for, well, no, actually, it's not all of the cross stitch. There is one more thing, and because that I already forgot. When I started, I don't know which one of these games that was. I think the last one that we talked about, where I was like, I'm doing 200 stitches. Excuse me. There was a project that came up initially before I got to Lucky Thirds, which was my Luna Moth model stitch, but and I have it somewhere in between here. I just need to find it. The problem with that one, and that is my UFO for the week. I just have to find it and then I will explain. So this is the pattern. This is also available on my Etsy. You could call this a full coverage or a non-full coverage because it's not small. Like it's a larger pattern, but it's obviously not entirely covered. So I don't know if you would call it a full coverage or not. But I did want to do a model stitch for it, and I had started it, and then I continued working on it. So let me show you. So I had like the tip of the wing here done. And then I picked it back up and I was like, let's move along here so I can get to the top of this part here so I can do my row by row. And then let me unfold it. And you see I already like cut it because I UFO'd it. And you will probably already see why. And this is the tip of the wing of one of the wings. Let's put it like this. This is the tip of one of the wings. This here is the tip of the triangle up here. So there is not enough fabric here on this side. I cut it too short. So if I were to fold it in the actual middle, which is here, and I even marked it, but I had it marked here and not here, so I probably thought the other mark here would be wide enough, but it's not. If I fold it in the actual middle, that's what this one, as you can see, it has exactly, and ends exactly at the tip of the second wing. So this fabric would have not been large enough. Well, it happens. It happens. Maybe I will restart it eventually, but I don't have any current plans to do it. So this will not get a model anytime soon. Not that it would have gotten a model anytime soon with how long this would take to stitch. But yeah, that is that. So that got UFO'd after I put a little over 100 stitches in it. So, because then I noticed and I was like, yeah, something's off. Let's move to the middle and then count. And I was like, no, this fabric is too small. I did an oopsie. But now we're done with the stitching. So let's move back around to me. All right, here we are again. So it's time to, for the chatty part, for the yapping, as some people say. I hear that all the time, lately at least. So, what else? Like I said, I worked on quite a few projects, as you saw. I think it's a little bit more than usual. I'm a little obsessed with the game stitching, but it's fun for me. And as long as it remains fun for me, I will keep doing it. As I did say earlier, I fell into something else, and that took a little bit away from cross stitch this week, but as you saw, not overly much. And some of you might also have done it once or tried it or not, but I have wanted to try diamond painting for a long time. I just never found a motif or anything that I liked. So I always kept like a lookout, and I was like, yeah, if I find something that I really like, that's not too expensive, so that I won't be like sad if I will throw it out because I don't end up liking it. So we went to Action, which is like a cheap craft store here in Germany, and I think like it's originally from the Netherlands, but I'm not sure. But they had some where I was like, yeah, I like those well enough to give them a try. And I'm not gonna like unroll it or anything, unless people say like, oh yeah, I'm interested, I want to see. So one that I got is this butterfly here. This is what it will look like. And yeah, or maybe I could just show you, because this is the one that I started. It's a large one. And I didn't think about like the size of it or anything before like purchasing it. I was just like, oh yeah, this is one. I like the motif. Let's go with that and try it. And I got quite a bit of it done already. I'm not gonna fully unroll it, just so you can see. I did get quite a bit done on this one. And while I'm like, I'm not gonna go crazy on this new shiny new thing. Shiny. It's definitely shiny. As I do on cross stitch, because these take up a lot more space. Like, you can roll them back up even after you started them. But once I took like the stones out of the package, I have to store them elsewhere, and yeah, I'm already like stocked with more cross stitch than I can finish in a lifetime. But sometimes I feel like I need something different in regards of crafting. So this is a good second thing to get into from time to time. And I'm sorry if you're not interested in seeing it. That's why I'm gonna keep it brief. And then there's the second one I got, but I haven't started this one. And that is the hummingbirds. And these were fairly cheap. I think they're like €3 each. And I had an Amazon gift card, so I brought 2 more smaller ones, because these are like A1 size. But they do fit in IKEA frames, as we noticed. We have a couple of like the really large ones, the A1 size, and they would fit in there. So if I finish these, I could frame them and hang them up. And I got 2 from Amazon. I don't have them yet. They will probably arrive today. That are a little smaller. I think they're A3. Wow. They are A3, so that obviously will be easier to frame and work on, because these are really large and I wanted something smaller. So if you're interested, I will just show them once I get them next week. So, but I probably will not work on more than 2 of these at a time. Maybe I'll just throw them in at the end of the videos, because if you're not interested and then just want to see the cross stitch, you can just like tune off afterwards. I'll just pick this back up. Like some people that when they talk about their books that they read and stuff like that, I wish I would read more books. Used to love reading so much, and now I don't have time for it, and I don't like audiobooks. But that is a different tangent. So yeah, that's pretty much it. There's not much for life updates. I took most of the week to like get back into work and recharge after the retreat, which was amazing, but like my social batteries have limits. Yeah, went to an appointment that I detest, and tomorrow I will have to go to the dentist, which I'm also not very happy about, but it should be harmless. But since I am very anxious about dentists in particular, even if it's a completely harmless thing, I will still be on edge until it's over. But it's gonna be first thing in the morning, so I don't have much time to ponder or decide not to go. I will just get up and be tired and walk there and get it over with like a reasonable adult. But yeah, because I did decide to get my teeth fixed this year. They're not too bad, but they don't look nice, and yeah, that's one thing that I'm always quite self-conscious about. It's kind of fine on videos, but you know, when you're out and chat with people or at markets or such, and it's not the worst, you would notice, but I'm not happy about the state of things. Let's put it like that. So yeah, that's that. So that's gonna happen like gradually over the next couple months. Yeah, other than that, that's pretty much it. I will get back to my model stitches and other work. I still have some paperwork to finish, and then I need to do my taxes next month. And yeah, we'll see how much I get done over the week. Let me know if you like the new pattern, and if you have anything you would particularly like to see from me in the future in regards to designs. Feel free to drop a note in a comment or send me a DM. I'm always open for suggestions because inspiration comes from everywhere. And other than that, May's gonna be on Friday. Keep an eye out for the mermaid if you want it. And if you enjoyed what I am showing, like I said in the beginning, please do leave a like and subscribe to my channel. So I will see you again next week. And until then, happy stitching. Bye bye.